The Wapakoneta Redskins are undefeated on their season at 5-0. The Celina Bulldogs come in 4-1, and each of these teams is 4-0 inside the Western Buckeye League. They meet tonight here at Harmon Field, and it's yours next on Game Face Ohio. Good evening, everyone, and welcome into Harmon Field, where tonight the Wapakoneta Redskins will play host to the Celina Bulldogs. I'm Dan Hearn along with Paul Sadler, and we welcome you into the Minster Bank pregame show. Paul, a great scene tonight here in Wapakoneta. It's a little bit windy, and that may play a factor. We'll talk about that as we go along. But this is a key matchup in what could eventually decide the winner of the Western Buckeye League.
Yeah, the stakes are huge tonight as we have two of the three remaining undefeated teams in the Western Buckeye League squaring off here tonight. These two teams have had really good battles, including 2 years ago, where it was just a tremendous game. We'll actually get into that a little bit later in the game as well, but all sorts of stakes tonight. Western Buckeye League's at stake, playoff positioning at stake as well.
This Celina Bulldog team is not real deep, so they have a lot of two-way starters, but the guys that they do have that go both ways are very effective.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of common names on both sides of the ball for the Bulldogs, including Ryan Harder, who's going to double at both running back and at outside linebacker, as well as Zach Martz at tight end and middle linebacker for Trent Temple's Bulldogs. They're not real deep, but they do not hurt themselves with limiting turnovers, and they make big plays on defense.
Speaking of defense, this Wapakoneta defense is tops in the Western Buckeye League, allowing just 8.2 points a game. They're number 2 in total defense, allowing just 206 yards a game. And a big part of that, Paul, is their linebacker play.
Yeah, they have a lot of experience in the linebackers with Dylan Keel, Landon Hall, and Jared Cockrell. Cockrell kind of leads the way of that middle linebacker spot, but it was Landon Hall with a pick six in the second half that really gave the Redskins some breathing room against a tough Bath team.
The Redskins have been in control of this series. In the last 9 games, they've won 7 of those. They've also had a pretty extended streak of wins in the Western Buckeye League.
Yeah, they're going streaking, as we mentioned. Walpock has 21 consecutive WBL games won, 23 straight overall, and on a personal basis for Coach Moyer, has won 73 consecutive games going back to his days at Bucyrus Winford. So a lot of streaks on the line here for the Redskins, but truthfully, their concern is about winning tonight and staying at the top of the Western Buckeye League standings.
Let's talk about the keys for each of these two teams, and we'll start with the Celina Bulldogs and what they need to happen to get a win tonight.
Well, they feel they must be able to run the ball with Ryan Harder as well as Caleb Hoying at quarterback. Even though they run kind of a one-back set, running the ball is still really important to them. They've been great at not turning the ball over. Caleb Hoying has no turnovers passing on the year so far. And then they got a tackle in space, which when you're playing Cameron Locke and the Walpock Redskins is always going to be a big challenge.
For the Wapakoneta Redskins, their keys to the game look like this.
Well, the last couple of games, they have not gotten off to a very good start against both the Elida Bulldogs and Bath Wildcats. I think Coach Moore would like to see a little bit of quicker start out of his group, and to do that, they got to win the line of scrimmage and then just defend the yard. They have not lost to this Celina Bulldog team at Harmon Field since 2005, and they would look to continue it tonight.
Well, it's set up to be a great matchup here tonight. A 5-0 Redskins team against a 4-0 Celina Bulldogs team, and it is yours next on Game Face Ohio.
TSC can save you money.
How?
TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet into one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
a boatload. Emerge bundle plan only from TSC.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think GA Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because GA Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, GA Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, think green.
Touchdown Friday, brought to you by Telephone Service Company, GA Windsor & Son, Stolly Insurance, Owen Kitchen and Bath, Frost Roofing, Minster Bank, Astro Lanes, United Way of Allglaze County, Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency, and the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome into Harmon Field, where tonight a Western Buckeye League matchup that features two of the three teams that come into this game 4-0 inside the Western Buckeye League. I'm Dan Hearn along with Paul Sadler. And Paul, this is a big matchup. We talked about it in the pregame show that could have implications all the way through the rest of the season.
It certainly is, and one of the keys to the game isn't actually one of these two teams we're seeing already. It is a very windy day so far, and it actually blew the ball off the tee twice before we get started.
It'll be fielded at the 5-yard line, then dropped back up across the 10 to the 15 to the 20 to the 25, and upended at the 30-yard line is Maddox Lyles, who puts together a decent return after struggling to get a handle on that ball.
Yeah, nice recovery, Dylan Hoying there as you were able to upend him. So we're going to take a look first at the Redskins offense led by senior Aaron Huffman, the 6'6" senior, leading the way offensively. Then on the offensive line, again, John Bourne filling in for Corey Thrush there at center. Otherwise a very veteran group.
The Walpock offense will come to the line of scrimmage at the 31-yard line with three wide receivers wide to the right. And Huffman will work out of the shotgun. He'll keep it himself and goes right up the middle of the field for about 9 yards to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, the good old-fashioned counter tray right there. Aaron Huffman following his two lead blockers up the hole.
The rest of the offense looks like this. Oh, we'll take a look at the defensive line first.
Mitch Mabry leads the way here on the strong defensive end. He was actually a middle linebacker for him last year. Linebackers, Harder and Marks, two-way players. Marks was a WBL honorable mention player last year, and Cole Merlin is actually second in tackles for the Bulldogs.
Huffman out of the shotgun again. He has Cameron Locke back there with him. Two guys in motion to the near side of the field. It'll be Locke, and he takes the handoff across the 40, goes across the 45 to the 47, and picks up the first down along the way.
Nice cut right there off the block of Stone Schnarry, the pulling guard. And then finally there in the secondary, you see Jacob Stolly and Justin Keeling, two other guys that are going to be two-way players. Stolly has 2 interceptions on the year.
Cameron Locke comes into this ball game 580 yards on the ground, 12 touchdowns on the ground as well. He's also caught 2 touchdown passes. He leads the team in that category. Here he is again, going off the right side. He'll get to midfield, stays on his feet, and powers his way down to the 48-yard line on the Celina side of the 50-yard line.
And I tell you what, that's kind of dangerous right there for the Bulldogs. Locke had a little bit of daylight. Harder just able to hang on to the leg to be able to pull him down.
So they'll spot that actually at the 49-yard line. And for Celina, you mentioned Harder. He's their leading tackler coming into tonight's ball game with 38 tackles. Second down and 6 now. Here is Locke off the left side. Couple of moves and he gets his way down to the 46.
Nice form tackle there by Justin Keeling. Not too often do you get a little bit of space with Cameron Locke where you're able to take him down with one person, but he was able to do so. So nice job by him.
Well, and you talked about it, Paul, in the keys to the game. Tackling in space is going to be critical for this Celina defense.
It certainly is, and that's what Coach Moore is going to try to do, is he's going to try to get his best playmaker the ball with some space.
So a 3rd down and 4 now. And checking into the backfield is Jared Cockrell. He's the 2nd leading rusher on this team, and Huffman will roll out to the right looking to pass. Evades one tackler, and he'll take it himself across the 45, picks up the 1st down to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, just going to get just enough. Was right at the sticks. He needed 4, got maybe 4 and a couple inches there. But Aaron Huffman on the bootleg on 3rd and 4 didn't like what he saw, so what he's coached to do is tuck the ball down and get what you can get. And in this case, it was enough to move the chains for a 1st down.
Celina does have a couple of guys that can bring some pressure to the quarterback, and Huffman with the good mobility able to avoid it this time. So 1st down and 10 for Wapakoneta at the 42-yard line. And it will be Cockrell for his first carry of the night. Stays on his feet down to the 35 to the 34-yard line.
Nice trap up the middle. Had a lot of space there initially, and then Cockrell, I think, kind of sensed a little bit of contact coming. Probably would have liked for him to just continue, with his big size, keep those legs going, maybe get a few extra yards.
So they spot that ball just inside the 35-yard line. And Cockrell will check out here on 2nd down and 3. Redskins opened the ball game with this formation, and they go back to it here. It is locked to the left side. He finds some room, cuts it to the near side of the field, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the house.
Well, what they were able to do right there, Dan, is they went trips to the far side, and that cleared out some extra space, allowing Cameron Locke, once he broke the initial line of scrimmage, less bodies to be there, more space for the playmaker.
Well, another one of your keys to the game, Paul, was for the Redskins to get off to a good start, and they've done that on their opening possession as Cameron Locke gets into the end zone for the touchdown, his 15th touchdown of the season. 35 yards on the carry for Cameron Locke. Tristan Myers' extra point attempt is going to be blocked. The snap was a little high, and it took Huffman a little time to get the ball down. So
it looks like that's Ryan Harder with the block.
Key play there, or it could play out that way. Good special teams play for Celina. With 8:26 remaining here in his first quarter, the Redskins on the board first. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Well, the Wapakoneta Redskins took their first possession, 7 plays for 69 yards. All running plays in 3 minutes and 34 seconds. They get into the end zone on the 35-yard run by Cameron Locke. Paul, a lot of that drive on the shoulders of Cameron Locke.
And Cameron Locke had 4 carries for 49 yards. So 49 out of the 69 yards were from Locke on the ground. But again, we'll see if that missed extra point does come back as we see the squib kick there.
It's fielded near the 30-yard line, and back up across the 40 to the 41-yard line is Mark Clausen.
Because we've seen some games in the WBL this year already decided by a missed extra point, including the game that we did with St. Mary's and Van Wert, but also the Celina Bulldogs beat the Elida Bulldogs 35-34 with a missed extra point by Elida.
Yeah.
So here we see the Celina Bulldogs offense coming on the field. They average nearly 25 points a game and are led by 3-year starter senior Caleb Hoying, who's currently 4th in the Western Buckeye League in passing, has 700 yards passing, has 7 touchdowns and no interceptions, and that is a theme of ball security for this Bulldog offense.
He will work out of the shotgun here with 3 receivers to choose from, and he fires it out to the back, coming out of the backfield across the 45 to the 46, and that was Vanden Heuvel, on the reception.
And his 8th catch of the year, right, to start the game here for the Bulldogs, all on a positive note.
So Vanden Heuvel, a 6'1", 175-pound senior, one of 12 seniors on this Celina Bulldog roster, and there was movement on the offensive line. And that linebacking core that we talked about in the pregame show for Wapakoneta showing some pressure there and forcing a miscue.
Yeah, Mitch Mabry at right guard kind of flinched a little bit, and he's a two-way guy for the Bulldogs, so they're going to count on him. He's an experienced returning starter on both sides of the ball. Don't expect a lot of mistakes from him.
So with the penalty, they go back to their original line of scrimmage at the 41-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right, and they'll flip it to Harder coming out of the backfield. He'll get across the 45 up to about the 48-yard line. So he gets back the penalty yardage plus 3 more.
Harder showing a little bit of a burst right there. Corey Crawford appeared to have an angle on him in the backfield, but he was able to elude that and pick up some good yardage, including a lot of that, including all of the yardage that they lost on that penalty.
Ryan Harder, one of the two-way starters that you talked about, comes in with 285 yards on the ground, averaging just over 6 yards a carry. They fake the handoff there, and Hoying will keep it himself, but the Redskins sniff it out, and he gets maybe a yard.
Hey, Court Miracle right there to be able to take down Caleb Hoying, who is a rushing threat himself. Actually, the leading rusher for the team is Caleb Hoying with 302 yards on the ground. This is going to bring up a 4th, and we're going to call it about a short 2, maybe a 1.5 for the Bulldogs. And given the field position, Coach Temple looking to roll the dice a little bit, and early in the ball game, trying a 4th down.
Well, a big play here for the Redskin defense early. 4 receivers set. Harder in the backfield on the right hip of Hoying in the shotgun, and the snap is low, and Hoying scoops it up, but he's going to be dropped for a loss.
Well, the play never got started right there. As Hoying unable to handle the low snap, Dylan Keel comes in and takes him down, and the first big stop of the game goes to the Redskin defense.
They're going to spot that at the 44-yard line on the Celina side as we take another look.
Yeah, it's a little low, but you got to handle that in that type of situation. In a 4th and 2, the defense is coming at you. You need to be ready for that, and obviously, the first big mistake of the game.
And a timeout going to be called by the Redskins before their second possession starts. We'll take a timeout as well. 6:26 left in the first quarter. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Hello?
Call dropped?
Hello?
No more minutes? Lost your phone? Don't worry. Telephone service from TSC is always crystal clear. Never runs out of minutes. Never has a dead battery. And most importantly, in an emergency, it displays your address for 911. Plus, TSC keeps you connected with free calling in our expanded calling area. Ask about telephone service from TSC today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
We are state of the art.
We are professional.
Thank you. You're welcome. Have a great day. We are service you can trust.
We are here for you.
With custom fabrication, a variety of roofing options, and exceptional roofing knowledge and expertise, Frost Roofing is committed to providing top-notch quality service on every project. To learn more, visit us online at frost-roofing.com and follow us on social media.
Redskins with the lead here early, and a big defensive stop has set them up. 1st down and 10 at the Celina 44-yard line. And we'll see if Coach Moyer's crew can take advantage of the good field position. Two receivers out to the left. As the Redskins took a timeout after coming to the line of scrimmage, they'll see what kind of adjustment they needed to make. Handoff, and it'll be Cockrell up the middle. He stays on his feet and fights his way up for a 9-yard gain to the 35-yard line.
And I tell you what, so far we talked about having winning the line of scrimmage, and early in the ball game, the Redskins have done a really good job in dominating the line of scrimmage.
Well, and Paul, that the fact that Celina plays so many guys both ways could be a big factor going down the stretch.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal this early in the ball game. So
Huffman under center here. The handoff to Locke. He goes to the right side, cuts it back. Flag comes down as he goes to the sideline, and he will go down. Looks like the ball may have come out over there near the 20-yard line.
Well, either way, I don't think this is going to be very good news for the Redskins because there's a flag down. I believe it's going to come back on a holding call. We'll see what the officials kind of shake out right here.
Celina players are indicating it's their ball, but and no motion, no signal yet from the officials.
Well, so if they're not signaling, then it looks like the Wapak Redskins are going to retain possession. However, this is coming back. So we see the ball is loose.
Yep. And
it looks like Ethan Good was able to get on top of it, we think.
Well, he was there first.
You know how piles work. That's not necessarily who ends up with it, though.
Right, yeah. All right, so with the penalty on the holding call that pushes them back to the 41-yard line. And really, in this situation, Paul, you'll take the penalty as opposed to losing the ball.
Right. Lesser of two evils. So Coach Temple in his third year here at Celina. He's been a head coach before. I was a head coach for the Crestview Knights. He was a long-time defensive coach for his alma mater at Van Wert. So, he's used to the Friday night battles here in the Western Buckeye League.
Three receivers to the left, and Huffman will keep it himself. He goes off to the right side and spun down after a gain of just a couple. He gets it down to the 39-yard line, so a third down and about 5 coming up. Last year, these two teams played in Celina and Wapakoneta with the 34 to 12 win over there in Celina.
So you see the Redskins receivers getting way out with a lot of split, setting up the screen.
And there it is, Locke at the 35. He'll get down to the 30 and down inside the 30 to the 27-yard line.
And once again, even though this was a pass play, it was still the same idea. The receivers are getting really, really wide, forcing the Bulldogs defenders to come wide with them, and all that's trying to do is create space to get the ball to Cameron Locke.
They pick up the first down on the screen play, and a 12-yard pickup there, and here's another look at it.
And that's his 9th catch of the year.
And I'm sure there's a lot of Celina fans that don't want to hear the word screen pass.
No, and we will get a good look at that a little bit later, as that's memories of 2 years ago in this matchup.
Flag down here, and it's going to go against Celina, so free 5 yards for the Redskins. Puts them down to the 22.
So Coach Temple employing a lot of different looks. They're a base 4-2-5 with the nickel as its base, but kind of it's going to look like a 4-4 at times. But also, Coach Temple said that they're going to play some tilt nose, try to cause a little bit more havoc on the interior of the line.
Well, they faked the handoff to Cockrell there and gave it to Locke going around the right side. He'll pick up positive yards down inside the 20 to about the 18, so it'll leave them a 2nd down and 1 as we hit the 4-minute mark here in the first quarter. Ethan Good, the lone wideout, lines up wide to the near side. with Cockrell and Locke in the backfield, and flags come down again.
Another one, and that appears to be Ian Hawkins, big 280-pound sophomore, jumping and getting into the neutral zone. Again, a difference between high school and other levels of football. As soon as you're in the neutral zone, it is a penalty. In college and the pros, you can get in the neutral zone and get back before the ball snap, and there's no harm.
Well, we've seen Huffman use that hard snap count before effectively, and he's done it twice here tonight, and this time gives them a first down.
And Celina actually comes into the game being the least penalized team in the Western Buckeye League.
Locke with the handoff up the middle, and he'll get down to maybe the 8-yard line. Not a lot there, about 4 yards on the carry.
Well, the Redskins are actually kind of doing what they haven't done a lot over the year is they've been putting together some long drives. Their first drive was a fairly long drive with a 7-play, 69 yards. This one, I believe this is going to be the 6th play of the drive. So not just big playing it like they were earlier in the year.
Mm-hmm. And time of possession-wise, they've held it most of this first quarter. And flags come down here, and a timeout going to be called by the Redskins. So the Redskins moving the ball again, and now down at the 8-yard line, threatening to score for the second time tonight. High school football for you on this Friday night on Game Face Ohio.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
Second down and 6 for the Wapakoneta Redskins as they are threatening to score, have the ball at the Celina 8-yard line, and they have held the ball most of this first quarter.
In Celina, kind of middle of the pack when it comes to total defense. However, they're only 7th in the Western Buckeye League against the rush, giving up nearly 200 yards a game.
Well, and the Redskins like the look of that. Cockrell and Cameron Locke in the backfield behind Huffman under center, and it will be Miracle on the going to the right side. He gets down to the 7, so not a big gain there.
No, and when Miracle gets the ball on that, usually they're looking for some big plays on that, but credit the Celina defense was not fooled. Mitch Mabry just held his key and waited for the play to come back to him and was able to turn it up inside and get Miracle down.
So now a 3rd down and 5, and the officials have taken a timeout. They want.
I'll tell you who's not enjoying these timeouts is almost everybody here, with it being windy and it's actually starting to rain here a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
This is a typical Ohio weather for you. It was shorts and T-shirts and flip-flops earlier this week, and now everyone's kind of bundled up.
Mm-hmm. And tomorrow it's supposed to be in the 70s, so.
Yeah, as AJ, we've got a rainbow out there too.
Attaboy, AJ. He's got a keen eye. Cameron Locke in the backfield on the left hip of Huffman, and he will take the handoff, going to the right side, finds a hole, and gets down inside the 5 to about the 2-yard line, which should set up a 1st and goal for the Redskins.
Yeah, not a touchdown, but it looks to be enough for the first down, and it is. So this is going to be a 1st and goal here at the 2. Once again, running trips and then running Cameron Locke away from the trips.
So the Redskins moving the ball downfield again. 1st down and goal now. And Huffman brings a play in from the sidelines. 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Cockrell unlock in the backfield behind Huffman. It'll be Cockrell, and he gets into the end zone for a touchdown.
Hey, Cockrell plunges in on the left-hand side for his second touchdown of the year, and the Redskins are now 2 for 2 on their drives. They're off to a fast start indeed.
So the second touchdown tonight for the Redskins, and Tristan Meyer is out to attempt the extra point.
And his first one was blocked. He's actually 20 for 23 on the year. He also had 2 blocked against Bell Fountain on the opener. Very unusual for the WBL reigning kicker of the year.
Good snap this time, and again, pressure from Celina, but Meyer able to get it away and gets the kick up and through. So with 1:49 remaining here in the first quarter, it's the Redskins 13 and the Bulldogs nothing. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Come out to Astro Lanes in the Loft Bar and Grill, where you can find great food, good drinks, fun games, and of course, bowling. Astro Lanes, a great place to spend some spare time.
Well, a big defensive stop for the Redskins set up an 8-play, 44-yard drive that ended with a 1-yard Jared Cockrell touchdown run to give the Redskins a 13-0 lead. Tristan Meyer puts the foot into it, low line drive kick. That'll be fielded at the 19-yard line. Back across the 20 to the 25 to the far side of the field to the 30. And out of bounds near the 38-yard line. Nice return there for Celina to set them up on just their second possession of the night, Paul.
Yeah, in their first possession, they really went nowhere. Took a chance at midfield after a good field position with their first drive as well. Fumbled the snap on a 4th and short and gave the ball in good field position to the Redskins. So we'll see how they do their second go-around.
Caleb Hoying will be out of the shotgun with Harder back there with him. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to the near side on the right. And it'll be Harder who got some pressure in the backfield but gets across the line of scrimmage and picks up about 4 yards on the far sideline.
Yeah, sometimes that can be tough going, running in the quick pitch sweep over to the short side. But respectable yardage there on first down for the Bulldogs.
It looked like Corey Crawford might have had a shot at him.
Well, I have a feeling if we would see how it's being blocked, they're probably not blocking him at all, just thinking that you just got to outrun him.
Mm-hmm. Hoying again out of the shotgun and now whistles. And they change the spot of the ball just a little bit. Oh, okay. The wind took the ball there. A little indicator on just how much wind we're looking at here. Hoying rolling out, getting some pressure, lobs it to the near side of the field, and that ball took off on him over the head of Marks.
Well, he's got a very, very strong wind at his back, and, that's going to affect you if you're not used to doing that. And, he had an open receiver and just overthrew him by a little bit.
So now a 3rd down and 6 for Celina.
And Hoying is accurate. He's completing over 60% of his passes on the year.
He'll have 3 receivers to choose from here. Ball at the 43-yard line, and they pitch to Harder, who brings it to the near side to the 45, and that's where he stopped. A gain of just a couple, and another 4th down situation for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, but this one, because it's a little bit longer, is going to cause the punt team to come out for Celina. So definitely not the start that Trent Temple would want for his Celina Bulldog team, as they've given up 2 touchdown drives, and they've yet to get a first down offensively.
Well, in just 1 minute remaining here in this first quarter. That's Caleb Hoying, who does kickoffs, he does the punting, and obviously takes care of the quarterback duties. We'll kick it away to Cameron Locke, who stands back at his own 14-yard line. Good pressure by the Redskins on that kick, but a long kick forces Locke back inside the 10 before he's able to bring it back out to the 19, and he's wrestled out of bounds there.
That's a really nice tackle there by Dylan Hoying.
So the Redskins offense back out onto the field, and they have held the ball the majority of this first quarter.
And whether it's because of the wind or what it is, but going into the wind has seemed not to slow down the Redskins at all.
Well, they have not. Have they thrown the ball yet tonight, Paul?
Yes.
Just once?
Yeah, that slip screen to
That's right.
Cameron Locke.
Here's the handoff to Cockrell, going right up the middle, and he stays on his feet to the 25-yard line. Gain of 5 on the first down carry.
Ooh, and Corey Crawford appears to be coming off. Now, again, a two-way standout for the Redskins. Hopefully that's nothing serious, but we see Tyler Jenkins, a 6'2", 200-pound sophomore coming in. So you're trading off 3 years of experience and 70 pounds right there.
Mm-hmm. Well, he looked like he was holding his hand a little bit when he first came off, but that will be it for the first quarter of play here in Wapakoneta. And the Redskins, with a good showing in the first quarter, lead 13-0 after 1 quarter of play. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
And back here for the start of the second quarter. And, Paul, we're going to take a look back here to just was a fantastic ball game 2 years ago here at Harmon Field.
Sure was. I see a familiar person right there. Caleb Hoying as a sophomore completes to Lamone right there. This was the go-ahead touchdown with 3.5 left to go was the next play. And then a famous play, 4th and 32, a screen pass from Cody Morgan to Zach Smirgy. Had nice tackles there by Ohio State-bound Blake Fenning, takes it all the way down to the 2-yard line. Smirgy takes it in for the go-ahead touchdown a couple plays after that. And just one of the better football games I've ever had the privilege to see. Walpaw, part of that 21-game WBL winning streak, wins 29-26.
Yep, fantastic finish in that one. And the Redskins trying to build on a 13-0 lead and maybe make the end of this game not so dramatic. Huffman has a little trouble with the snap, and then he is going to be dropped for a loss all the way back to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, just not a good play there all the way around. Dylan Hoying, totally unblocked, kind of goes in there to make sure that Huffman couldn't do anything with it when he did recover. So first real negative play for the Redskins offensively.
It brings up a third down and 13 from the 16-yard line for the Redskins. Up to this point, the Redskins have been very good on third down.
Yeah, they're perfect for the game, 3 for 3, but they haven't had 3rd and 13 yet.
Here is Locke, straight up the middle of the field. Takes a hit, and he'll go down at the 26-yard line. About 5 yards short of the first down.
Nice real pop right there for the Celina Bulldogs. So it's going to be 4th and 4, and given the field position, this might be the first. Coach Moore going to trot on the punt team. So the first stop of the night for the Bulldog defense. So kind of surprisingly, each team that's had the wind, which you think would have the advantage, ends up punting.
Mm-hmm. Cameron Locke will stand at his own 12-yard line to kick it away. Harder will be back to receive it for Celina. Kick is away, high kick, drives Harder back. It's going to go over his head, hits at the 21-yard line, and will roll into the end zone. So Cameron Locke took advantage of that wind and put the foot into it.
That's a 75-yard punt.
Right. That'll help his average.
He's one of the better punters to begin with, but my goodness.
And you could hear the coaches probably in the background crying for that one to go out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. But
well, usually you're pretty upset when you get a touchback because of your net, but you still got a net 55-yard punt on that.
Mm-hmm.
So just unbelievable. And the Bulldogs thinking they might get really good field position, ends up with rather pedestrian field position instead.
Right. Well, their offense hasn't been able to put much together so far tonight. This is their 3rd possession of the ball game.
And their worst starting field position.
Right. 4 receivers. And Hoying will hand it off to Harder going up the middle. He'll fall across the pile to the 22-yard line.
Well, the Redskins kind of not playing a normal defense. And by the way, good news, Corey Crawford, who came off Gimpy, is out there already, so he appears to be all right. But they're only playing with 3 down linemen and playing with an extra DB out there. So you would think that you should be able to run between the tackles because once everybody gets spread out, they actually have them outnumbered. They only have basically 4 guys in the box.
Mm-hmm. And here is a pitch in the backfield that's going to be snuffed out quickly by the Redskin defense. That was Marks trying to make the cut up the field.
And even though Cockrell didn't make the play, he really disrupted the flow of that, forced him to kind of come back and really disrupted.
Well, and there you can see
a little bit more now.
Yeah. The wind definitely going to be a factor tonight, and the rain started after kickoff, but could cause some slippery conditions out there on the field here at Harmon Field.
And we'll see if it affects this. Looks like a passing down.
And they lob it to Hartman in the backfield. He goes to the right side, escapes one man. A flag comes down, gets across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Well, even if this is on Celina, this will bring up a 4th and about 5, so I would not be surprised if this just gets declined. But it is going to be on Celina with a holding call. Technically, that would be officially a run right there because that was an obvious backward pass.
Mm-hmm.
I know the teams were expecting the blustery conditions. I'm not sure we're expecting the rain or not. Obviously, it might be a little bit slicker, but playing on the turf should help that. But now this is going to be the first time we've seen someone punt into the wind, so we'll see how much of a difference. Caleb Hoying, the left-footed kicker, actually had a 46-yard punt the first time.
He'll kick into the wind here on a 4th down and 3, and he stands at his own 15-yard line to do it. High snap, but he gets it down. And the kick will be fielded by Locke near the 43. Brings it back to the middle of the field to the 50, to the 45. A flag is down as Locke stays on his feet to the near sideline and is finally brought down near the 32-yard line, but we'll see what the flag is about.
Yeah, a real impressive return, but I think that's going to be all for naught because I think Walpock's going to have an illegal block.
So the penalty will go against Wapakoneta. And even with the penalty, Paul, they're going to have pretty good field position to start this possession.
They're going to have pretty good field position, but in terms of the penalty as well as what would the return happen to be, they're going to lose close to 30 yards of field position.
Mm-hmm. Let's take another look at that return.
You see, and it's got to be tough to be able to catch the ball. First of all, nowhere to go. But I think that's where they're going to call the illegal block right there on Elsas, which is probably a little bit of a tough call, but that's what it is, and it'll be 1st down and 10 near the 40-yard line.
So the Redskins offense back out onto the field. They've been stopped only once so far. The other two possessions, they got into the end zone.
See a really wide set right now, but this time it's not Locke in the background, it's Landon Hall.
Huffman out of the shotgun, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, goes to the right side, and that one sniffed out by the Bulldogs. He gets back to the line of scrimmage and not much more.
Yeah, nice job by Zach Bigelow, the senior, and then being helped by the youngster, Ian Hawkins.
Redskins, Paul, tonight seem to be using the wide receivers more as a distraction than as a target.
Yeah, and, that's kind of been their MO, coming into this game. They're 4th overall in the Western Buckeye League in the rush, but they're actually last in the Western Buckeye League passing, only averaging 66 yards a game.
Cockrell and Hall both in the backfield here, and it'll be Hall to take the handoff, and he's going to be stopped for a loss back to the 36-yard line.
Mitch Mabry gets the tackle for loss, but once again, it was Zach Bigelow that really set that up by getting some penetration from his weak defensive end position.
So another 3rd down and 13. The Redskins faced a 3rd down and 13 on their last possession.
They got a good chunk of yardage back, but they did not get all 13.
Mm-hmm. And Celina's defense starting to stiffen here on these last 2 possessions for the Redskins. Redskins are 3 out of 4 on 3rd down conversions. And Huffman is back to pass. Under pressure, fires it out. It's caught by Locke. He slips the tackle and picks up the first down as he gets across midfield to the 44-yard line.
Really nice job there by Cameron Locke. He threatened like he was going to go deep. They had the wind at their back, so you really had to fear for that. But he was able to stop just short of actually the sticks. But again, he had just enough space to make a man miss and pick up extra yardage, including the first down for his second catch of the night. That one for 21 yards.
There you see him, and he shakes the would-be tackler, and I believe that was Jacob Stolley.
Yep.
Here's the handoff to Locke. He goes up the middle after cutting it back, and he picks up a yard to the 42.
And that's what teams really want to do. If Cameron Locke's going to run, they don't want him to be able to get that clean corner. So the defensive ends are being coached now to try to get some penetration and force him to cut back into the flow.
Under 7 minutes to play here in the half. Redskins holding a 13-0 lead and moving the ball again in Celina territory at the 42-yard line. Here is Locke again. Goes to the right side, and the pile is stacked up at the 41-yard line. So another 3rd down and long coming up for the Redskins. And a flag on the play.
And it's going to be another flag on Wapak. While this is only their 3rd, they've been penalized for a lot of yardage. This is going to be their 3rd, but for 45 penalty yards compared to Celina, who only has 15 yards to show for their 3 penalties.
So that will put them back on their own side of the 50-yard line at the 48. And what was a long 3rd down coming up is now a really long 2nd down.
That's going to be frustrating. Coach Moyer's Redskins, to start off the year, was actually one of the fewest penalized teams in the Western Buckeye League. Then a couple of games ago, especially against Elida, where they had a lot of penalties, including 8 false start penalties. Started to get a few more penalties as the season's gone on.
You're going to have to stop watching the Browns so much. Handoff to Locke. He goes down the near sideline and erases that penalty as he goes into the end zone for a touchdown.
52 yards.
There's the big play. 52 yards. He explodes to the right-hand side. There's no need for a hesitation move that time or cutback. It was full steam ahead. A big hole on the right-hand side, and Cameron Locke hits the end zone for the 2nd time today.
Now Cameron Locke, explosive offensive player, and makes the coaching staff for the Redskins forget about that penalty pretty quickly. Tristan Meyer will be on to attempt the extra point. Hold is down, the kick is up, and it is good. And so with 6:13 remaining here in this half, the Redskins now with a 20-0 lead. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
TSC can save you money.
How?
TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet into one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge bundle plan only from TSC.
TSC. Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think GA Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because GA Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, GA Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, think green.
Well, the Wapakoneta Redskins got another big play from their big playmaker Cameron Locke, a 52-yard touchdown run that capped a 5-play drive covering 32 yards in 2 minutes and 32 seconds, and they now have a 20-0 lead over the Celina Bulldogs.
Yeah, Locke now has 126 yards for the game on only 10 carries, and he continues to lead the Western Buckeye League in rushing touchdowns and overall touchdowns. That his 16th overall touchdown on the year.
Kick will be fielded, but the return man backs into the end zone. That's Marks, and so the Celina Bulldogs will start this possession at their own 20-yard line. And they have had very little success offensively tonight, have the Celina Bulldogs.
Well, you know, we've seen a team already this year on our broadcast overcome a 20-0 deficit in a pretty similar situation. But it starts with getting that first score. And the Bulldogs have not shown a lot on offense so far.
They will come out with a 3-receiver set, and Hoying will work out of the shotgun. Harder back there with him in the shotgun on his right hip. A lot of time left in this one, as Hoying fires it out to the right side, and that ball nearly picked off. It goes in and out of the hands of Marks, the intended receiver over there on the far side, and hung up in the air around 3 red shirts, but fortunately for the Bulldogs, it drops harmlessly on the ground.
And we haven't really seen, and maybe the weather's been coming into play, but a lot of passing as we see here. You know, Hoying throws a bullet, almost gets knocked up in the air and intercepted. But play selection, Celina's ran the ball 7 times, as it was only their 4th pass.
Here's the pitch, and Harder is hit in the backfield and dropped by Cockrell for a loss back inside the 20 at the 19.
Yeah, the way that they're blocking that, you got to get out of there in a hurry, because someone is unblocked in the middle, so you really need to attack that edge.
So now a 3rd down and 11 coming up for the Bulldogs. And Hoying, who has been a dynamic offensive player all year for this Bulldog team, has been stifled so far tonight.
They have, well, the Celina Bulldog offense only has 21 total yards for the game so far, Dan.
4 receivers set now. And a man in motion on the far side, that's Marks. Back to pass, Hoying with time now. He's pressured, and he fires it into the ground after being wrapped up, and that's going to prompt the flag.
Yeah, Dylan Keel right there. They're going to call intentional grounding as Hoying was going down and no obvious receiver in the area. Irregardless whether the stands or if they decide to change their mind on picking up the flag or not, it's going to bring up a 4th down and putting into the wind once again to the Redskins. So the Bulldogs with really a first half to forget, and they are going to go ahead and wave off, which, again, I can understand, because he was going down, and you have to take that into consideration that as he's going down, he's trying to pass, and that takes obviously a lot of the distance away from where you want to throw it. So.
Well, regardless of the penalty, the Redskins are going to be set up pretty good here, because Hoying is going to be kicking away from his own 7-yard line, and he's kicking into the wind. And of course, there's always Cameron Locke standing back there. Kick is away, and Locke is going to let it drop. It will hit at the 49 of Celina and roll to the Wapak side where they will start out at their own 45-yard line. So another great opportunity here for the Redskins as they start at the 45 after a 36-yard kick by Hoying. And Paul, this weather is miserable if you're up 20-0. It's terrible if you're down 20-0.
Look at that. You know, this is one of the better times of being a press box. Looking at that, Dan.
Huffman fires it out to the right side where it's caught, and up to the 49-yard line after making the reception is Elsas.
And Huffman being a pretty accurate 3 for 3 coming into the game. He's been kind of scuffling a little bit with his accuracy. Only has 46% completion percentage coming into the game, but high percentage passes like that will definitely help that.
Well, and coming into this game, he only had 24 completions in the first 5 ball games, so not being counted on to throw the ball an awful lot. He will run it here off the right side and gets across midfield to the 49, a pickup of a couple, and a 3rd down and short coming up.
And Zach Marks, again, up there to be able to make the play for the Bulldogs. So, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Moyer be kind of aggressive right here. You're up 3 scores. You got good field position, 4 minutes to go. Wouldn't surprise me for anything that he does in this playbook in this situation, and may even go for it on 4th down.
Redskins have been effective on 3rd down. Now 4 out of 5 so far. 2 receivers to the right. They put men in motion across the backfield. And it'll be a handoff to Locke, who gets hit in the backfield but spins out of it. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. A 4th down and 4 coming up.
Well defended there by Celina. You had Bigelow, who's been pretty active on his defensive end spot. Got in there initially, wasn't able to take Cameron Locke down, but he had enough teammates there to clean it up.
Well, it looks like Redskins will kick it away here. But there will be just about 3 minutes left by the time Celina gets their offense back out onto the field.
Well, especially with the wind right here and the field position, he's definitely going to hurt his average with this punt. He's not going to get 75 yards a kick like he did that first time.
Right. This one's going to hit, and it'll be fielded, and the Redskins are going to pin him deep as Maddox Lyles ran underneath that one at the 5-yard line.
So really nice job. Going to pin the Bulldogs back really deep at their own 5-yard line in the shadow of their own goal post on that 44-yard punt by Cameron Locke.
Well, the Bulldogs won the toss and elected to defer, so if they could get something going offensively here on this possession, they would get another chance with it at the start of the second half. But
they need to get something going because they have scuffled. Right now they're getting outgained 192-21, Dan.
Hard to feel good about that. 4 receivers for Hoying. And they pitch it to Harder. He's got, he did a good job just to keep from being dropped in the end zone.
Well, they have consistently on that little pitch play gotten a lot of penetration to disrupt that. Sometimes they've been able to outrun that guy, sometimes they haven't. And that time, they actually had 2 men back there with Hall and Crawford. And the Bulldogs lose yardage and are even closer to their end zone now.
The ball is at the 1-yard line. That play blew up from the very beginning for Celina. This time Harder straight ahead, finds some running room. He's across the 10-yard line all by himself at the 20 to the 25, 30. And he'll be knocked off his feet as he gets to midfield. First big play of the night for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, more yards on that play. I believe we're going to call that about a 51-yard run right there. Than the entire game so far, and maybe that's going to breathe some life into this Bulldog offense.
Boy, Harder showed his explosiveness on that play as you take another look at it here.
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic that he was able to avoid. Then the nice block there on Lyles that really was able to break loose, and that's the first down of the game for the Celina Bulldogs.
And it came at the 2:06 mark here in the second quarter. Here's Harder again. He'll get a couple of yards off the right side of the 46-yard line.
And Coach Temple really wanted to run the ball coming in, and that's the first time they've had a lot of success. But again, play selection, that's their 11th rush versus only 5 passes. Now, I know you're going into the wind. You got all your timeouts, so time's not a big key right now at this point. But at some point, I think Hoying's going to have to show that he can hurt the Redskins through the air a little bit.
He has 4 receivers, but they hand it off to Harder, and he goes forward for a couple of more to the 44-yard line. So a 3rd down and 6 coming up. And a timeout going to be taken here by Celina before this 3rd down play. Just 1:20 remaining in the half. We'll take a break. When we come back, more of the first half here from Harmon Field. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, pop money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Redskins leading 20-0, but the offense for the Bulldogs finally starting to show some life. They have the ball at the Redskin 44-yard line, a 3rd down and 6 coming up. And the Bulldogs so far tonight 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. They will come to the line of scrimmage with 4 receivers, and Hoying working out of the shotgun. Back to pass, looking, fires to the right side where it's caught for a 1st down. Inside the 30, slipping a tackle, and getting down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line is Jacob Stolley.
That's the first time we've really seen Hoying kind of go downfield, and that looked pretty nice as he hit Stolley. The ball was in the air before he broke out of his pattern, and that's what you want to see out of precision passing game right here. Nice, strong pass, able to get the ball to Stolley, avoids the tackle, and Celina with their deepest penetration of the night.
26-yard pass.
26 yards on the connection from Hoying to Stolley. 4 receivers again for Celina here on 1st down and 10 at the 18-yard line. Hoying lobbles it out to the right side, looking to connect with Stolley again, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, run a little bit of a comeback pattern. I don't know if he meant him to go a little bit deeper or if he just kind of overthrew it, overcompensating for the stiff wind he's passing into.
So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Just over a minute remaining here in this first half. And Hoying brings the play in from the sideline. Same formation here on 2nd down and 10. Hoying with pressure, lobs it over to Harder. And Harder's going to be dropped for a loss back to the 21-yard line.
And Nate Elsass there looked like it was going to be a pretty well set up play. They had pressure coming off the edge, decided to throw the screen pass right over him, but it was slow developing enough to where a lot of Redskins were able to come up on that pass and make the play. And that's going to result in a loss, and now it's 3rd and 13 for the Bulldogs.
And the Bulldogs taking a timeout here to talk things over before this next play. 56 seconds left, so time not really a factor, Paul, but the Redskins defense stiffening here as the Bulldogs get down into the red zone area.
Well, this Redskin defense is tops in the league in points allowed, only giving up 8.2 points a game. Yardage-wise, they do give up a little bit more yardage. They're only third against the run, but they're first against the pass. So it is a very stout defense and very stingy in giving up the points.
Bulldogs back out onto the field here, facing a 3rd down and 12. They got a big play on this drive, a long run of 52 yards by Harder that put them into Redskin territory, then a 26-yard connection with Stolle. And now on a 3rd down and 12, Hoying looking. He has all day, fires it left side into the end zone, and it is incomplete.
Yeah, he actually caught the ball, but they're going to say that he was out of bounds, and it looks like that is probably the right call as Vondenheuvel that was trying to come up with that. That will bring up a 4th down for the Bulldogs. But one thing we haven't seen Hoying do that he might have the opportunity to there is just kind of tuck the ball and run. You know, he is the leading rusher for this Bulldogs team. But either way, this is going to be a 4th and long and obviously a passing situation.
So Hoying will be the lone back in the shotgun with 5 receivers out there as they move Harder out to the right side. And he is back to pass. Rolls out to the right, still looking downfield, fires it into the end zone, and it's intercepted by Cameron Locke at the 1-yard line.
So Cameron Locke does it all. He's scored 2 touchdowns, and then this time he's able to sniff out an interception. I believe that's his first interception of the year after having quite a few of them last year. Yeah, last year he had 4 interceptions as he was a WBL first-team cornerback, but that's his first pick of the year, and that does end the best drive of the night for the Bulldogs and preserves the shutout.
And another big 4th down stop for the Redskins defense, and Locke was able to return that ball up to the 6-yard line, so that's where the Redskins offense will take over with just 41 seconds left here in the half. And Huffman will take a knee. The Redskins will have to run one more play here before the half.
It depends on when they decide to blow it in play. Sometimes the officials
you're right.
take a look, but this time they didn't. They went ahead and blew it in just in time. They are going to have to snap at one time by about a half a second.
Well, Celina showed some life there at the end of this half, but their offense has some things to figure out at the break if they're going to make a comeback here in this ball game here at Harmon Field tonight. The Redskins take a 20-0 lead into the locker room, and we'll have the halftime show for you when we come back. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Hello? Call dropped? Hello? No more minutes? Lost your phone? Don't worry. Telephone service from TSC is always crystal clear. Never runs out of minutes. Never has a dead battery. And most importantly, in an emergency, it displays your address for 911. Plus, TSC keeps you connected with free calling in our expanded calling area. Ask about telephone service from TSC today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
We are state of the art.
We are professional.
Thank you. You're welcome. Have a great day. We are service you can trust.
We are here for you.
With custom fabrication, a variety of roofing options, and exceptional roofing knowledge and expertise, Frost Roofing is committed to providing top-notch quality service on every project. To learn more, visit us online at frost-roofing.com and follow us on social media.
Halftime here at Harmon Field, and the Wapakoneta Redskins in control of this ball game. They lead 20-0 over the Celina Bulldogs in a key Western Buckeye League matchup. Let's take a look at the scoring summary from the first half. The Redskins got it started at the 8:26 mark in the first quarter. A 7-play, 69-yard drive capped by this 35-yard Cameron Locke run that put the Redskins on the board first. The extra point was blocked by the Bulldogs, and the Redskins led 6-0. The Redskins then took advantage of a strong defensive play and went 8 plays, 44 yards, and put Jared Cockrell in the end zone from 1 yard out. The Meyer kick was good, and after one quarter of play, they led 13-0. Then the Cameron Locke show comes back to town on this 52-yard touchdown run that gave the Redskins their third touchdown of the first half, the second for Cameron Locke. The extra point was good, and the Redskins go into the locker room leading 20-0. Paul, we have an opportunity here to take a look at first half statistics, please.
Yeah, and it's very one-sided. You know, Celina only had the one drive, and that did bring their total to a respectable 96 yards for the half. Wapak, by taking a knee, lost a couple yards there and ended up with 190 yards for the half. Most of it on the ground for the Redskins, led by Cameron Locke. The Redskins have 168 yards on the ground. Cameron Locke has 126 of those, including 2 touchdowns. He also has 2 receptions for 33 yards, as well as an interception there that snuffed out the only successful drive of the Bulldogs. Aaron Huffman, the quarterback, is 3 for 3 for 37 yards passing. Over to Celina, Ryan Harder leads the way, running the ball, has 9 carries for 66 yards. Most of that on just that one carry. And Caleb Hoying only 4 for 10 passing for 35 yards.
Paul, do you have your chalk ready?
Well, I think we're more into whiteboards in this day and age.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sure we're ready to go.
We'll get your dry erase markers ready because it's time to step into Sadler's Schoolhouse.
Well, what we're going to do is look at that second touchdown run by Cameron Locke. And what I first want to look at is just the formation. You see they got trips going to the top, and see how wide that they are, and that brings the Celina defenders all the way out there, and they have no intention on running on that side of the field. So basically, they're just creating more space on this side of the field by bringing the strength of the formation with receivers to the other side. Now let's look at the line blocking. What we're going to see here, if we can get the other angle, we stop it right there. We start with a double team with Bourne and Ryan Loudon, the center and right guard. Cole Hogan's going to be coming down here in a second. But one of the biggest things that you need to see is penetration coming up, and that is the pulling left tackle, Corey Crawford, that's going to avert disaster with this block, as you're going to see right here. As Celina was right there where the mesh point was, Corey Crawford kind of saves the day. And later, after the touchdown is scored, Aaron Huffman gives him some congratulations. And the other real key block down there is Case Childs with the block downfield. And after that, it's Cameron Locke just running through the hole that's given to him. And once he gets there with that head of steam, no one's going to catch him.
So Cameron Locke with 2 long touchdown runs tonight. It almost seems redundant because he always seems to have a couple of long touchdown runs.
Yeah, he's one of the more explosive players that we've seen here in a long time.
Well, the Celina offense finally came to life late in the first quarter. They will have the ball to start the second half when we come back. The Redskins lead 20-0 here at the break. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
Ladies and gentlemen, with a pride in your moment, please welcome the 2015 edition of the Wapakoneta High School Marching Redskins. The band is under the direction of Mr. Clayton Hillary and Mr. Stephen Winter, assisted by Flag Corps Coordinator Kim Mertz and Professional Instructor Brock Connell. The band is led on the field by Field Commanders Daniel Araber and Tyler Newman. Marching Redskins, accompanied by our own Mike and Nicole, dancing to Timber. Feature some special guests and some local talent. These guys know how to push it, and push it real good. Please join the Wapakoneta Marching Redskins and the Morning Optimist Precision Drill Team on Salt and Pepper's 1986 hit, Push It. That was some mean precision, gentlemen, but don't quit your day job. Our final selection of the evening will feature Wapak's own cheerleaders doing their thing to the 2015 Bruno Mars hit, Uptown Funk. Hit it, ladies. also like to thank Breakfast Optimist for loaning us their talent as well. Since 1987, Wapakoneta Breakfast Optimist Drill Precision Lawnmower Drill Team has performed in over.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Come out to Astro Lanes in the Loft Bar and Grill, where you can find great food, good drinks, fun games, and of course, bowling. Astro Lanes, a great place to spend some spare time.
Back to Harmon Field for the start of the second half. Tristan Meyer has it teed up for the Wapakoneta Redskins, who lead this Celina Bulldog team 20-0 in what could be a very important Western Buckeye League win for the Redskins.
Yeah, both these teams come into this game tied at the top along with the St. Mary's Rough Riders. A long way to go in both games, but right now there's some shakeup potentially going on at the top.
And the wind has been a factor all night long, as you see there. They have Elsas out there to hold the ball for Meyer to start this second half kickoff. And the Bulldogs will start from their own 20-yard line. Now the Bulldogs offense, Paul, struggled through most of the first half. They had a couple of big plays on their last possession, but otherwise they were shut down.
You know, and the wind could be affecting them. They came into the game being the fourth best passing offense in the Western Buckeye League. They only had 10 attempts and only completed 4 of those. So, you know, the elements may be working against them, but, you know, 20-0 obviously is a hill to climb, but not insurmountable. But you want to get off to a good start here.
Well, Paul, you talked about their passing game, but they didn't utilize Caleb Hoying a lot on the ground in the first half either.
And he is their leading rusher for the season.
Harder will take the first handoff, and he'll go up to the 25-yard line. A good 5-yard pickup on first down.
And that's where they've tend to had some success with Harder, is kind of running between the tackles. His one long run started between the tackles before he cut it to the outside. The play that's really been struggling for them, they've been running the most, is that quick pitch.
They have 4 receivers out now, and Hoying again working out of the shotgun on 2nd down and 5. And they fake the pitch and then hand it off to Harder, but the Redskins defense was right there waiting for him, and I believe that was Landon Hall.
Well, Dylan Keel actually made the play right there, and if he didn't, that play might have went. He was trying to be kicked out by, I believe, Mitch Mabry, the pulling right guard, and he wasn't able to get the block, and that prevented the play from going.
No, it'll force a 3rd down and 5 now. And Celina with 4 receivers, and Hoying back to pass, fires out to the right where it is caught and then dropped.
Yeah, Jacob Stolly kept coming back. Would have been shorter of the first down anyway as he kept coming back, but he didn't hold on to the ball at all. So a disappointing start to the second half with a 3-and-out for Celina.
And they have struggled on 3rd down tonight.
Yeah, they only picked up 1 conversion so far. They are now 1 for 7 on 3rd downs.
Hard to be successful with that kind of number. So Hoying will kick it away, and he'll be kicking into the wind from his own 12-yard line. Locke will stand at his own 46 and wait for the kick. He's going to let this one go out of bounds, and the Redskins will have great field position again to start their first possession of the second half.
A great catch there by Cody Klosterman on the sidelines. Yeah, lineman's dream, unfortunately, coming on a punt out of bounds.
He'll still count it. So the Redskins will start at their own 48-yard line. They have been a beneficiary of some good field position so far tonight, and that's where they'll start after a 27-yard kick by Caleb Hoy. Two receivers out to the left, and Locke and Cockrell in the backfield behind Huffman under center. And it will be Cockrell off the left side. He crosses midfield, and he'll be spun down as he gets to the 46.
But that just goes to show what happens when you get your momentum going and your pads going forward. There was contact there about a yard past the line of scrimmage, and Cockrell ends up going another 5 yards on the play.
Well, he is a good contrast to Cameron Locke in the backfield. We saw that last year with John Eaton, a big guy that was difficult to bring down in between the tackles.
And Keaton Metz was the big play hitter for the Redskins last year. But speaking of big plays,
here is Landon Hall picking up the first down and more off the left side inside the 30 to the 27-yard line.
And Zach Marks with the touchdown-saving tackle on the big guy.
Hall hasn't had a lot of carries tonight, but he takes advantage of one there and picks up big yards.
Well, he and Cockrell kind of share that fullback position. Both of them are primary defenders, playing some offense as well.
19 yards on the carry for Landon Hall.
And Landon Hall last week made the big defensive play against the Bath Wildcats with the pick 6 in the second half.
Wildcats off to a good start tonight. First down and 10 for the Redskins. And Huffman is back to pass. He lobs it to the right side. Childs wide open to the 5, and he will get into the end zone for a touchdown.
And that's Case Child's first varsity touchdown, only his 4th catch of the year, and Aaron Huffman's 4th touchdown pass of the year. Some play action, a busted coverage for the Celina Bulldogs as Case Childs was wide open. He just had to turn around and wait on the ball to come to him on the corner pattern, and a big touchdown for the Redskins.
Well, Huffman just floated it up there, and the big tight end hauled it in and strolled into the end zone for the touchdown.
And Huffman a perfect 4 for 4 passing on the night.
Myers' kick is up, and it is good. 9:30 remaining here in the third quarter, and the Redskins now open up a 27-0 lead. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Wapakoneta Daily News, bringing you local news and more since 1905. With subscriptions starting at just 35 cents a day, the Wapakoneta Daily News is Wapak's source for timely local coverage of news, sports, classifieds, entertainment, and more. The Wapakoneta Daily News. Subscribe online today.
Well, a 3-play, 52-yard drive in just 1 minute and 9 seconds. And the first varsity touchdown for Case Childs, a 27-yard reception, puts the Redskins up 27-0.
And again, a perfect start to the Redskins for the second half. Get a 3-and-out defensively, get good field position, and then get a quick score. And the Redskins are firmly in control in this battle for the top spot in the Western Buckeye League battle.
Well, and you could hear the crowd reacting to the announcement of the score from over in St. Mary's. And so they know just how important that game is as well.
Yeah, obviously, you know, we'll end up, when this is broadcast, we'll know the result of that game. But for right now, Bath holds a 21-0 lead over the St. Mary's Rough Riders. And if that score would hold true, the Redskins could see themselves alone at the top of the Western Buckeye League. And Celina, you know, they actually play the Rough Riders next week, which is a big game no matter what, as the two arch rivals are going to square off. And we will have that game next week as well.
That one should be fun. Well, the Bulldog offense back out into the field. They have struggled all night long to get much going.
Well, this is their 5th possession, and they've only had 1 possession where they've managed to get a first down.
Hoying fires it over the middle, and it goes in and out of the hands of Cameron Locke. Headed for his intended receiver. He was looking for Keeling, and incomplete.
And I think his fingers got stung on that one with it kind of being cold out and the zing on the pass. You know, I always kind of thought it was kind of tough to catch the ball when it was the first cold game of the year, and I think this would qualify as the first cold game of the year.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, as Hoying will work out of the shotgun as normal. And that one nearly got away from him. He fires it over the middle, and it's incomplete. A flag comes down right behind Cameron Locke, as that pass was intended for Sean Rose, but incomplete.
Yeah, and they're going to get Cameron Locke with a little bit of contact beforehand.
We'll see if we can get another look at that one on a replay.
Yeah, the tight end was dragging. Cameron Locke usually is on the perimeter, matched up with a wide receiver, but Wapak kind of playing a little bit of a specialized defense against this 4 wide receiver look, only going with 3 down linemen. And, you know, sometimes, you know, the proliferation of the spread offense has really got teams to get away from their base defense at times.
Well, the penalty puts the ball at the 35-yard line for the Bulldogs, and they pick up the first down there. 3 receivers out there for Hoying, and he'll hand it off. It'll be Marks out of the backfield, takes it to the far side, and he's going to be stacked up at the 40-yard line.
Really nice tackle out there. I think that was Maddox Lyles that made the tackle. As you mentioned, Marks was in a position where it looked like he was going to go for big yardage and definitely get a first down, but truthfully he could not get off the read of his block and got stopped for only a 6-yard gain, which you would have thought would have been more.
Paul, you've said it before, when you say good tackle, Maddox Lyle's name just almost automatically comes to mind.
And he's been very, very fundamentally sound as he's worked his way and earned a starting spot in Coach Moyer's defense.
Short run there up the middle, and it'll leave the Bulldogs a yard shy of the first down, so they look to pick up their 2nd first down of the night.
And a big rarity to this is they've had some positive plays, so it's a 3rd and short.
1 out of 7 so far on 3rd down conversions. And Hoying will hand it off to Marks, who picks up the first down to the 46-yard line.
And again, the modest success that they've been having has been when they've been running between the tackles. So Celina getting a little bit of an advantage and maybe kind of getting some confidence going here offensively.
Well, they'll spot the ball at the 47 on the Redskins side of the field as we move to the 8-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter.
So their 2nd first down of this drive, their 4th of the game.
Excuse me, yeah. And 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Hoying. Lobs it out left side, and it's caught. Cross midfield to the 45 and down to the 43-yard line. Justin Keeling on the reception.
Nice job by Nate Alsace getting off his block and making the play. However, it is quite downfield for a nice gain for the Bulldogs on first down.
Going to leave them a yard short of another first down. And Paul, the Bulldogs doing a little bit better moving down the field. What are they doing differently on this possession?
Well, they've had some success running the ball. The first thing that got them started was actually that penalty. The penalty got them a first down, and sometimes you just need to get those sticks moved the first time to get yourself a little bit of confidence. And no matter what age it is, as we see Jared Cockrell with a nice play right there, no matter what level or age it is, you know, confidence is a big part of it. And you know, it's cold, rainy. First half really didn't go their way at all. You know, it's tough, and sometimes you get that one play, you know, that can all of a sudden really open up how things are going to execute for you.
So the stop there by Cockrell brings up a 3rd down and 1. And we've seen Marks a lot in the backfield here in this half. as Hoying will keep it himself and pick up the first down to the 39-yard line.
Nice play call, too, because it looks like that the Redskins were kind of zeroed in on the back there on Marks. So nice play call for the keeper for Caleb Hoying to pick up the first down.
And as I mentioned, we've seen Marks in the backfield a lot. Harder did most of the work as the tailback in the first half, and we have not seen him back there. So two receivers out here to the left, and one wide out over to the right side. They fake the handoff, and Hoying will fire it to the right side. It's up for grabs and incomplete. Maddox Lyles there with the coverage.
And put a lot of air under that. That was a higher trajectory than you would really think that you'd want to do on that type of a post pattern. You think you'd want to put down a little bit more of a line, especially going into the wind. As you can see right here, the wind started to kind of hold it up a little bit more. If the ball's thrown out in front of him, he's got a chance to get it, but instead it's behind him, and Lyles in good enough position to be able to knock it away.
So the incompletion brings up a 2nd down and 10. And Hoying will step up and now run it himself. Escapes one man to the 35, to the 30. Over on the near side, still on his feet at the 20. And he will dive forward across the 15, down to the 13-yard line.
And that's something we haven't seen Hoying do, tuck the ball and run for big yardage. As we mentioned coming in, he was the leading rusher for this team of having over 300 yards rushing the ball. 25-yard gain. And on that 25-yard gain, he's able to pick up a big chunky yardage.
6'4", 220, and pretty nimble for a big fella.
He's a successful basketball player for the Celina Bulldogs and a 3-year starter at quarterback.
Marks with the carry up the middle of the field, and he's going to be stuffed as he gets inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. I believe that was the 10th play of this possession for the Bulldogs, and by far their longest drive of the night.
Yeah, again, before this drive, they only had 2 first downs for the gain. Now they've had 4 on this drive.
Two receivers to the left, one to the right. Hoying takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking to the end zone, fires it over, and it is incomplete off the hands of Jacob Stolley.
And we're not out there. We don't know, with the rain, if it's made the ball slippery a little bit. Ball is kind of high on that, but, you really would like to be able to kind of pull those down when you have a chance to put points on the board.
Well, it'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 ball at the 9-yard line of the Redskins. Bulldogs had one other threat late in the first half and were unable to score. This one fired out to the left. It's caught, and pushing his way down inside the 5 and into the end zone for the touchdown is Justin Keeling.
Yeah, and Keeling gets in for the touchdown. That's his 3rd touchdown of the year. Caleb Hoying, that's his 8th touchdown passing of the year, and the Bulldogs are on the board. Same quick screen that they ran a little bit earlier in this drive. This one was well executed, and the Bulldog faithful, who's kind of sat through this weather, gets a chance to cheer for really the first time tonight.
Yep. Merlin will be out to attempt the extra point, his first extra point opportunity tonight. He's missed only one so far this year. Hold is down, the kick is up, and it just does get through. 4:44 remaining here in the 3rd quarter, and the Redskins with a 20-point edge. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
TSC can save you money.
How?
TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet in one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge bundle plan, only from TSC.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think GA Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because GA Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, GA Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, think green.
4 minutes, 44 seconds left here in the third quarter of play at Harmon Field, and the Celina Bulldogs getting on the board for the first time tonight on their longest drive by far, a 12-play, 80-yard drive, just under 5 minutes on the time of possession, and ending with a 9-yard pass from Hoying to Keeling. Merlin's extra point makes it a 27-7 ball game.
And, you know, Hoying's run scramble was a real big key play to that, and, you know, I'd look for them to try to call a lot more pass plays if they want to stay in this, and understanding that there's always got to be an option with him to be able to run.
And the kick is away down the center of the field, scooped up at the 25-yard line and back across the 30 to the 31. And that was Dylan Keel on the return. So the Redskins offense back out onto the field. They have moved the ball pretty much at will through most of this ball game.
Yeah, they've only been forced to punt twice the entire game. Otherwise, they've found pay dirt. So out of this is their 7th possession, and they've scored 4 out of their first 6.
So for Celina to build off of that offensive touchdown, they're going to have to throw up a stop here. It'll be Cockrell and Locke in the backfield, and a timeout going to be taken by Coach Moyer before the start of this drive. We'll take a break as well. 4:40 remaining in our game. The Redskins with the lead. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Well, after the timeout, the Redskins come back out onto the field, ready to start their 7th possession of the night. It'll be Cameron Locke off the left side. He gets to the 35 to the 40 and picks up a first down and 13 yards on his way to the 45-yard line.
And I tell you what, that was a trend breaker play right there in terms of formations. That time they were in an overload situation, and this time instead of running away from that, they actually ran to that strength in the wide side of the field, and were able to pick up a good yardage.
And we've got a Celina Bulldog injured on the field, and while they attend to him, we'll take a break. Redskins still in control here at Harmon Field. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Hello? Call dropped? Hello? No more minutes? Lost your phone? Don't worry. Telephone service from TSC is always crystal clear. Never runs out of minutes. Never has a dead battery. And most importantly, in an emergency, it displays your address for 911. Plus, TSC keeps you connected with free calling in our expanded calling area. Ask about telephone service from TSC today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
We are state of the art.
We are professional.
Thank you. You're welcome. Have a great day. We are service you can trust.
We are here for you.
With custom fabrication, a variety of roofing options, and exceptional roofing knowledge and expertise, Frost Roofing is committed to providing top-notch quality service on every project. To learn more, visit us online at frost-roofing.com and follow us on social media.
Well, the injured player able to get off the field under his own power for Celina, and a first down for the Redskins at their own 45. And this time Cockrell will pick up the first down on that carry, 11 yards straight up the gut to the 44-yard line.
And he is fun to watch running that trap because he's got his shoulder pad square, and he does not shy away from contact, and he always finishes going forward.
11 yards on that pickup, and the Redskin offense picking up right where they left off.
And stoppages aside, the Redskins with two real good runs to start off this drive.
Huffman looking to the sideline. He has Good, the lone wideout, all the way to the left. It'll be Cameron Locke who cuts it up the middle and picks up 2 to the 42-yard line.
That's really the same play that he scored the touchdown on the 52-yard run in the first half, just much better defended. This time, instead of flying up the field where Crawford had to go and kick him out, leaving a major gap, there was penetration enough to where Locke had to cut up inside, and yet there was pursuit there to be able to clean up the play.
Same formation here on 2nd down and 8. The handoff again to Locke, and again he finds room over the right side. It'll be 2 more yards, make it 3, down to the 39-yard line.
And Stolle always willing to put his nose in there and make the play and the tackle that time for the Bulldogs.
So a 3rd down and 5 coming up. Wapak so far tonight, 4 out of 6 on 3rd down conversions.
I understand this is their 7th possession, and this is only their 7th opportunity to have a 3rd down.
2 receivers out there to the left. Time winding down on the play clock as Cameron Locke takes the handoff and goes off to the right. He'll pick up a pair, which will leave them about 3 yards short of the first down.
Really trying to work that right side is the Wapak Redskins, but up to the task so far has the Bulldogs been this last set of downs. But given the field position, looks like Coach Moyer with a 4th and 3. Nope, he's going to throw out put out the punt team.
Interesting call here. You know, when you're looking downhill at the 37-yard line, but with a 20-point edge, hard to make a bad decision. Locke, high kick, and it's going to go into the end zone. So the net result is about
17 yards.
Yeah.
But you know what, Dan? When you won 73 consecutive games, you know, we'll probably not second guess him a whole lot.
That gives you a little bit of cred, doesn't it? All right. So the Bulldogs bring their offense back out on the field. Their last possession with their best of the night. 12 plays and 80 yards. And got them on the board for the first time.
And, you know, it's a 20-point, but it's not far-fetched. You know, if they've got their confidence going and they're able to put some plays together here, you never know. Football can be a funny game.
Well, and we have over a quarter of football to play yet. So just under 2 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter as the Bulldogs take possession. And Hoying fires it out to the right where it's caught up across the 30 to the 40 to the 41-yard line. And I believe that was Sean Rose on the reception, and it was.
I believe that's his 2nd target at least. That might be his first catch of the game. Nice little skinny post there from the slot position. Real tight window in there because Cameron Locke was close to making that play, but nice first down play, catching with the 21 yards on it.
And that time, 2 receivers over there right in the area, and neither one of them could pull in that ball thrown by Hoy.
And between Keeling and Bondenheuvel, both of them ran the same pattern. We're saying that obviously could not have been what the Bulldogs wanted.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they certainly didn't want it to go through both of their hands. So 4 receivers here as Hoying works out of the shotgun on a 2nd down and 10. He gets some pressure from the right side, now steps up, he's going to keep it himself. He's going to get to midfield and close to another 1st down as he is brought down at the 49-yard line, and they're going to go ahead and call it a 1st down.
And as I mentioned before, I really think that's what makes Celina tough to defend, is when they got their passing threat game going, and then you've got so many guys committed to coverage that you have a real big dude in Caleb Hoying at 6'4", 215 that's capable of running.
Hard to believe this is the same offense we saw in the first half. Here's Marks, no gain on 1st down as he's stuffed by Miracle at the line of scrimmage. So 2nd down and 10. 1 minute to play here in the 3rd quarter.
And as you mentioned, Marks getting the bulk of the carries back there. I can see on the far sidelines, Harder's on the sidelines. Don't know if there's an injury keeping him on the sidelines or a coach just like what Marks has given him.
Your 2nd leading rusher is not a part of your offense in the 2nd half. That's kind of surprising. Hoying back to pass with time. Fires it toward the sideline and well overthrown. Trying to connect there with Vandenheuvel.
Yeah, just really good coverage there for the Redskins because Hoying had plenty of time. Vandenheuvel was probably the one that was open the most, but Aaron Huffman was close enough to where if that pass would have been on target, he would have been able to be there to defend it.
So a 3rd down and long situation for Celina. They've completed just 40% of their 3rd down opportunities. And they will go with a 4-receiver set. Man in motion across the backfield. That's Rose. And Hoying fires it out to the right side. And this time they will convert on 3rd down as that pass is caught up to the 36-yard line by Stolle.
And you can tell Hoying and Stolle got a little bit of a connection going on. That's the 2nd pass play that we've seen where Stolle's not even out of his break yet. And Hoying is able to get the ball to him and deliver it and move the chains.
15 yards on that connection and a 3rd down conversion. Hoying out to the left, caught and dropped as he gets to the 31-yard line. That was Keeling on the reception.
Now, this is the same play that they ran for the touchdown. Keeling, he's got a guy that he's got to beat by himself with the way that that's schemed up. He was able to do that just enough to gain 4 yards on that play.
That will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. We'll come back for the final frame here with the Redskins up by 20. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
Back here at Harmon Field for the start of the 4th quarter. The Redskins leading at 27-7, but the Bulldogs on their 2nd straight possession moving the ball effectively against this Redskin defense. And this pass out to the left side caught. Not a lot there. Up to the 30-yard line.
But you see a really different approach to the Bulldogs as being effective to them. I mean, we have yet to see that little pitch play that they ran a lot in the first half that just didn't seem to work. And that just shows good coaching, that you do things that and you practice it. If it's not working, you find what does work. And it's taken, 2.5 to 3 quarters for the Bulldogs, but they've found something that actually works for them against this Redskin defense.
And there is Hoying up the middle, not much.
But he kind of surges forward and does get positive yards after what you thought was going to be a really short gain. And this is going to bring up a 4th and reasonable now, as 4th and we're going to say about a long 2.
Well, if the Bulldogs are successful here on this 4th down, it'll be the first time tonight.
And they had a real memorable one that very first drive where they had a 4th and 2 as well in the ball game, and they mishandled the snap.
10th play of this drive coming up. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Hoying takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself, and he goes off the right and picks up the first down to the 29-yard line. So after struggling all through the first half to pick up first downs, this Bulldog offense has come to life here in their last 2 possessions.
And kind of an interesting adjustment by the Redskins, who primarily have been going with a 3-down lineman look. Actually has reinserted Logan Ricker and is going with a 4-man line.
And this pass out to the left side. It's caught. And across the 20 down to the 17-yard line, and that is Keeling again.
And Keeling, that's the 4th time they've run that little quick screen. He only had 4 catches coming into the game, so he's doubled that here just tonight.
Well, obviously the adjustments that the Bulldogs made in the locker room were effective offensively. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Marks in the backfield back there with Hoying in the shotgun. And Hoying again back to pass, getting some pressure, lobs it over the middle to Marks. He's inside the 5, and he's going to go down at the 1-yard line.
Real nice recognition as he was able to find Marks kind of over the middle late. And right now on the doorstep at the 1-yard line. And Hoying, who was only 4 for 10 passing the first half, is now 7 for 13 passing. So a lot closer to 60% on the season that he is. But you can see Marks kind of gets caught up in the mush, then finds that soft spot, and then a touchdown saving tackle by Keel, but now at the 1-yard line.
1st and goal, and Hoying is going to lower the shoulder and push his way into the end zone for the 2nd Celina touchdown tonight.
And Caleb Hoying's running as well as the arm is making a big difference. That's his 7th touchdown rushing of the year. He actually came into the game 6th in the Western Buckeye League in touchdowns, and he will add to that total. And things may be starting to get interesting here with 10 minutes left to go in the game as the Bulldogs pull within 2 touchdowns.
Merlin will be on to attempt the extra point now. The hold is down, the kick is up, and it is good. So with 10 minutes left in our game, the Redskins lead trimmed to just 13. And now the Redskins will get the ball back to start this next possession. When we come back, you're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Come out to Astro Lanes in the Loft Bar and Grill, where you can find great food, good drinks, fun games, and of course, bowling. Astro Lanes, a great place to spend some spare time.
10 minutes left in this ball game, and the Bulldogs trying to make a game out of it. They put together a 13-play drive covering 80 yards in just under 4 minutes, and Hoying took it in from a yard out to make it a 27-14 game. And now the Bulldogs are set to kick it away.
2 drives, 25 for 160, 2 scoring drives.
That kick will be fielded by Locke at the 5-yard line. He goes right back up the middle across the 20. He finds some space to the 30, and he'll take it all the way back to the 39-yard line. So Cameron Locke with a nice return. The United Way of Auglaize County wants to remind you that great things happen when we live united. When filling out this year's pledge card, be sure to give where you live and designate Auglaize County. So the Redskins offensively would like to put together a strong drive here and eat up some of this 9:54 left in this game. Here is the handoff to Cameron Locke. He brings it to the near side of the field and up across the 45 to the 47-yard line.
Jumping back to the Celina offense, their 2 long scoring drives are 25 plays, 160 yards. In comparison, the rest of the game, they have 25 plays and only 86 yards to show for it.
So much more effective on their last 2 possessions, Paul.
So, but obviously, if Celina does want to be able to really give themselves a chance, the defense is going to need to be counted on to stop this Redskin offense. They give up some good field position on that long return by Locke, and then a good first down run, and then Huffman there with a quarterback sneak to move the chains.
A solid push there from the offensive line of this Redskin team as the quarterback sneak goes for 3 or 4 yards.
And you say it might be cliche, however, line play is always a big key to the game, Dan.
It is always. You got to win the trenches, Paul. 9 minutes to go in this one. And the Redskins trying to fend off this Bulldog team from making this thing interesting. And a loose ball, and Huffman wisely just falls on it back at his own 49-yard line.
And that's one way that if you want to get another team into the game is to turn the ball over. Wapakoneta really has excelled at that as they're second in the league with a turnover ratio at +6. We can see the replay just coming from the snap of the center, comes out and the ball pops out of his hands, but luckily Huffman able to get on that to limit the damage.
So a loss of a couple on the play brings up 2nd down and 12.
See the strength of the formation into the short side of the field.
It'll be Locke off the left side. He finds room across the the 45 down to the 40-yard line. And he's going to be just about a yard short of a first down.
You know, we give Locke obviously a lot of credit, and rightfully so, in making the big plays for touchdowns. But that's a really big run right there. You know, you could see him kind of feeling his way where there's blockers and staying tight to his blockers, as you can see right here, just staying right next to Schnarri and able to make the nice cut to get that extra 5 yards.
So after the 11-yard pickup by Locke, it's 3rd down and 1 here, and Huffman again on the quarterback keeper picks up the needed yardage for another first down. And good play by the offensive line there to win the line of scrimmage.
So 2 big first downs when they really needed it, because the Bulldogs are kind of desperate. If they have a chance to win, they need to dig in and get a stop. They cannot afford to let the Redskins continue to chew up the clock, let alone be able to put more points on the board.
Yeah, this possession already going on 3 minutes for the Redskins. And it'll be Locke again, this time off to the right, and maybe a yard for the Redskins. 2nd down and 9 coming up.
And senior Zach Bigelow, defensive end for Celina, just to give him credit, he has been as good as anybody I've seen at defensive end for so far this year, and just blowing up the pulling guard that's trying to kick out the defensive end.
So it'll be Cockrell and Locke in the backfield. And the handoff goes to Miracle. He comes off the left side and gets down to the 31-yard line. That'll leave him about 4 yards away from the first down.
And Miracle on that counter, we've seen him take that to the end zone 2 times this year on only that his 7th rush of the year. You can see the replay. Have a couple guys got Loudon pulling, then also tight end Case Childs pulling, but his man able to get off him and make a play.
Same formation here on 3rd and 4, and Wapak going to take a timeout again.
And have they take all their timeouts when they're not lined up correctly offensively, Dan?
It seems that way. They have taken some timeouts in situations where you didn't expect them, and this one another one. That'll give us an opportunity to thank our sponsor over at Astro Lanes, as they did a stellar job again tonight, dropping off some delicious pizza.
And I tell you what, the pizza was extraordinarily good today, especially on a cold, rainy day like that, like it is tonight. As you can see, the rain kind of coming down still. Astro Lanes, tremendous pizza, tremendously appreciated by the staff here at Game Face Ohio.
And you know, we're doing it kind of like picnic style now out there on the tail. I hope somebody remembered to bring that pizza into the trailer or to the van, so that it didn't get ruined out there.
I'm not sure there's any pizza left, Dan, so it's probably not worth it.
Nothing,
but we
to worry about there.
But we do have a new home.
We do. We had to take the Miller Textiles mobile studio back, return that.
The horse trailer?
We had the trailer's been retired. Did we operate out of a tent there for a little while?
It seems like we may have.
Now we've got a new vehicle. And it looks like a nice ride. Handoff here, Locke, left side. He's going to pick up the first down and more down to the 20-yard line.
Showing a lot of success behind that left side, running to the short side of the field in this case, but most of Locke's runs have been successful, have come to this left side of the offensive line of the Redskins.
And it continues what has been a very effective, time-consuming drive for the Redskins so far.
And the Bulldogs gave away the possession with 10 minutes to go. We're approaching on a 4.5-minute drive already for the Redskins, and they are not able to get the stop that they desperately need.
Cockrell in the backfield. He'll take the handoff straight up the middle now, cuts it to the left side, and gets inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. So it'll be 1st and goal for the Redskins. And the Redskins already doing the job as far as taking time off the clock. If they're able to punch this one in, that will be it.
Yeah, after that 11-yard run, this Wapak team up over 260-yard rushing on the game. Only came in averaging 220.
10th play of the drive coming up here for the Redskins. Handoff, Cockrell left side, and he bowls his way down to the 1 and into the end zone, touchdown.
And that's Cockrell's 2nd touchdown of the game. And this touchdown is seemingly going to put the game out of reach of this line of Bulldogs.
8 yards on the touchdown run by Jared Cockrell. And that makes it a 33-14 ball game as you get another look at it here.
And working on the left side, got a little bit of face mask going in there, but Cockrell with those shoulder pads always going forward, able to get the ball in the end zone. And Coach Moyer going to go for 2 points here.
All right. Huffman coming in from the sideline. They'll send 2 guys out to the right side wide. And it'll be Cockrell and Locke in the backfield. And this stadium is silent. He rolls out to the right, does Huffman. Lobs it up to Locke, and he goes into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
Well, leading scorer Cameron Locke adds to his resume. Hadn't had a 2-point conversion yet for the year, and he has changed that. And Huffman, haven't had to use him a lot passing, but he is perfect on the night passing. 4 for 4 in the official statistics, and then completed that one as well.
Well, the Redskins build their lead to 35-14, and we'll have more of high school football for you on Game Face Ohio.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
Well, a nearly 5-minute possession by the Redskins. 11 plays, 61 yards, and an 8-yard touchdown run by Jared Cockrell. And a 35-14 lead after the 2-point conversion. And that one pretty much seals it up here, Paul. That one takes a roll there at the 15-yard line. Marks will field it and bring it back across the 20 to the 21. And the Bulldogs will get another opportunity with the ball.
Well, again, time is not an ally of the Bulldogs as they now trail by 21 points. However, they have converted the last 2 possessions into points.
Yeah, their last 2 possessions have been very effective at moving the ball. And you talked about the 160 yards they were able to roll up on their last 25 plays. But unfortunately, their defense not able to slow down this Redskin offense here in the second half. And
seemingly what this is going to do is Wapak knock Celina from the ranks of the undefeated in the league. And also, this is going to hurt Celina in terms of playoff positioning. Celina, with a proud football tradition, actually has the longest playoff drought in the Western Buckeye League. They haven't been to the playoffs since 1998. Currently, if the playoffs would have started this week, they would have been in the playoffs. Coincidentally enough, they would have been the 4th seed and Wapak currently the 5th seed. Mm-hmm. If that would have occurred, they would actually have played each other. Obviously, a lot of football is going to be played. Right. St. Mary's also in that region, currently the number 1 team in the region, but they currently are losing to Lima Bath
by 4 touchdowns. Here is Hoying. He goes up the middle. He'll dive up to the 30-yard line. He'll be close to a first down, but a 3rd down coming up.
But again, Hoying, very smart, saw a negative play potentially happening with penetration coming up. He's a big body kid, goes up the middle and is able to get good yardage.
Mm-hmm. It'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Ball at the 30-yard line. And handoff up the middle, and I believe that was Marks diving through the pile there to pick up the first down.
Zach Marks, the ball carrier. Jared Cockrell on the stop for the Redskins. First down, Celina.
Jared Cockrell with the stop there, and the Redskin linebacking core having a pretty good night tonight.
Yeah, we featured those guys at the top. Again, not normally playing their normal positions, but they're able to adapt and play all over the field. Cameron Locke, for instance, he's at cornerback right now. He's playing almost a free safety for a lot of the game.
Mm-hmm. They get a little bit of pressure on Hoying as that that pass is fired over the middle and incomplete.
It was just a bit outside.
Yeah.
So he was looking to Stolly on the crossing pattern.
I was just getting geared up for the playoffs, Paul.
Well, our Cleveland Indians not looking like they're going to make it this year.
They were this close. The Reds, did they? I don't even know. Did they play in September?
Did they finish the season?
I'm not sure. 3 receivers to the right, and the pass over the middle to Rose. That one's picked off.
Tyler Copeland playing center field right there, continuing with the baseball analogies, just stayed right there and was able to step up and make the interception. Believe it or not, in week 6, that is Caleb Hoying's first interception thrown of the year.
Yeah, he came in with 7 touchdown passes and no interceptions, and Tyler Copeland just stepped into that one and took it away.
Yeah, he has every right to that ball. Rose is coming on the crossing pattern, and he just stepped up and took it, and that gives possession back to the Redskins.
3:42 left in this game, and the Redskins have just to run that time off the clock. Here's a handoff, and going off the right side up to the 40-yard line. First carry of the night from Marcus South.
Second down and 5.
So 5-yard pickup there.
So as mentioned before, next week, big matchup as it's the Battle of Grand Lake St. Mary's as the Celina Bulldogs are going to take on the Rough Riders. Unfortunately, both teams who were tied for first place going into this week looks like they're going to be tied for second place going into next week's battle, but still, that is always a fun game and a spirited atmosphere over in Celina.
Mm-hmm.
And these Redskins will travel to Defiance to take on Coach Beauty's Bulldogs.
And the Bulldogs, well, it seems like you're always playing a Bulldogs team.
Yes.
So a 3rd and 4 now coming up for the Redskins. And the South goes down as the footing a little bit slippery out there. It's been raining most of the night. Well, most of the time since the start of the game anyway. It took a break during halftime, which was nice for the band.
Yeah, and the band's actually put on a pretty good show.
Mm-hmm.
Both the Celina and Wapak bands, and something in the Western Buckeye League. The bands really represent the student bodies really well. They have high participation numbers, and they've put on a pretty good show.
4th and 7 now, and South will take it off the right side. He will slip forward to the 37-yard line, and the ball will go over to the Bulldogs with just 1:45 left in this game. So, Paul, with the way that the Redskins played tonight, they came out early, put a couple of touchdowns on the board in the first quarter. They got some help from Lima Bath, knocking St. Mary's from the ranks of the undefeated.
Yeah, so after this week, Wapak is going to continue their Western Buckeye League winning streak, and now they're going to be by themselves at the top of the Western Buckeye League and really in firm control of their destiny of perhaps winning back-to-back WBL championships.
And some substitutions out there for the Bulldogs as that ball toted up the middle of the field. And that's number 33, who is not on our Bulldog roster.
No, and
well, unfortunately, we can't give that young man credit.
Call him Bob.
And quarterback keeper off to the right side. That one's across midfield. And there's no number 1 on our roster either. So we're 0 for 2 so far.
So obviously mass substitutions kind of going on both sides as some of these younger players who have been cold and on the sidelines all night get a chance for some of their actions under the Friday night lights.
So Celina now with a first down, under a minute to play here. And some pressure up the middle, but Celina able to escape and bring it to the near side, going out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Well, whoever he is, he's had a couple of nice runs.
Yes, he has.
9 yards for Joe.
9-yard carry there. Now
so and Celina, only had 2 first downs in the first half. They have had 12 here in the second half. So, some things to build on to next week, and what's going to be another challenge for Coach Temple's Bulldogs going against their arch rival Rough Riders.
And the rest of the schedule for the Redskins, they will be on the road in Defiance, on the road at OG, back home for St. Mary's, and then on the road in Van Wert. So 3 out of their next 4 games on the road.
Well, they've had it pretty good here playing at home with 4 regularly scheduled games, and then actually the Shawnee game in week 2 that was supposed to be an away game got rescheduled. They played that at home too.
Mm-hmm. And under 30 seconds to play here in this one. Coach Moyer picking up his 74th consecutive regular season win. That's an impressive streak, Paul.
And that encompasses a long list of opponents over many, many seasons. But, for right now, they're going to enjoy this one, as this was going to be a big battle in the Western Buckeye League for the top. And the Wapak Redskins will emerge as the only undefeated team at the end of this night in the Western Buckeye League.
An impressive win for a conference game here for the Redskins tonight. They come away victors 35-14. We'll be back to wrap this one up. After this, you're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
TSC can save you money.
How?
TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet in one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge bundle plan only from TSC.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think G.A. Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because G.A. Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, G.A. Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, think green.
And welcome back into Harmon Field, the site tonight of another Western Buckeye League victory for the Redskins, their 22nd consecutive Western Buckeye League victory. Redskins with a strong first half took a 20-0 lead into the break, and in the second half added to that lead at the 9:30 mark in the third quarter. A 3-play, 52-yard drive that ended with his 27-yard connection from Aaron Huffman to Chase Childs. And the Meyer kick made it a 27-0 Redskins lead. Now then, the Bulldogs started to get in on the action. They put together a 12-play, 80-yard drive that ended on a 9-yard touchdown pass from Hoying to Keeling. And that got the Bulldogs in the end zone for the first time. Merlin's kick made it 27-7. And then their next possession, they put together a 13-play drive and punched it in with this 1-yard Hoying run to make it 27-14. The Redskins were not done. Jared Cockrell got the ball and took it 8 yards into the end zone to cap an 11-play, 61-yard drive. They then put a 2-point conversion on to icing this cake. And the final score, 35-14 in favor of the Redskins. Paul, the Redskins, one of their keys was to get off to a quick start. They did that, and then they finished.
They certainly did, and it took Celina a long time to get going, although they did have some things that they could build upon. Happened in the second half, and they'll probably need that against the Rough Riders next week. Let's go ahead and look at some of the stats. Cameron Locke finished the game with 178 yards rushing on 19 carries, 2 touchdowns. He also had 2 receptions, a 2-point conversion, and an interception. Aaron Huffman finished a perfect 4-for-4 passing for 64 yards and a touchdown. Over to Celina, Caleb Hoying was 11 for 26 passing for 111 yards, 2 interceptions. I did err on that one time. I said he only had 1 interception. He had 2 interceptions, a touchdown pass, and 1 rushing. Overall, Celina did gain 288 yards, but Wapak was able to have 341 yards, 297 of that on the ground.
Well, as always, on nights like this, when it's windy out and it's raining, and we're excited that we're up in the press box and now down on the field, we want to thank the camera guys that are standing out in that weather, dealing with that. And then on top of that, Paul, they've got other things to deal with, and that brings us to our post-game edition of the Sadler Schoolhouse.
Well, and sometimes things can be dangerous out there. The Wapak crowd decides to storm the field afterwards, which is kind of a tradition. Here you see some potential trouble averted right there, but it's not going to be averted for very long, as we can see right about now.
Yep. That's right then was when he realized it was not going to end well. And Josh Miller took the brunt end of that collision, one of our dedicated camera guys, and we thank him for his work. We want to thank the rest of our crew as well, our producer Todd Utrip, our technical director Adam Dell, Jim Miller, Josh Miller, and maybe he'll get some hazard pay out of this, I don't know. Cody Voorhees and Jordan Menning, all helping us out tonight on just a lovely evening here in Northwest Ohio. So the Redskins put together an impressive win, and it will leave them in sole possession of first place in the Western Buckeye League as they improve to 6-0 and 5-0 inside the conference. Celina will fall to 4-2 overall and now 4-1 inside the Western Buckeye League, which will put them into a second-place tie with St. Mary's. So our ball game next week, big implications for those two teams as St. Mary's and Celina meet up. All right, the final score here again, the Redskins 35 and the Bulldogs 14. For Paul Sadler, I'm Dan Hearn. Thanks for joining us, everybody. You've been watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.